Hello and welcome to Arirang News on this Thursday, November 3rd. I'm Han-daeun in Seoul. President Park Geun-hye continues with her efforts to ease public anger over the power abuse scandal that's engulfed the nation. After tapping the nominees for new Prime Minister and Finance Minister yesterday, President Park has picked a new Chief of Staff and Senior Secretary for Political Affairs. Song Ji-sun starts us off.
Just a day after announcing a new Prime Minister nominee to set up a new cabinet, President Park has appointed new aides to assist her through the tough times. Han Kwang-ok, chairman of the Presidential Committee for National Cohesion, is the new chief of staff. The four-term lawmaker, who also served as a chief aide to former President Kim Dae-jung, has long been a symbol of national unity and democracy in Korea.
President Park appointed Han based on his lifelong faith to the values of reconciliation and tolerance. It will provide suitable ground to assist the president at a difficult time, from the people's point of view, and to carry out state affairs in a stable manner.
For the other key post, Heo Won-jae is the new chief aide for political affairs. The seasoned reporter, who also functioned as a standing commissioner at the Korea Communications Commission, is anticipated to closely coordinate and communicate with the media, the parliament, and diverse sectors across society. The post for policy coordination, formerly held by An Jong-bum, who is now under prosecutors' investigation for his alleged close links with Choi Soon-sil, has yet to be filled. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News.
The nominee for Prime Minister Kim Byung-jun is set to hold a press conference that will begin any minute now on how he would govern and how he proposes to tackle the political conundrums ahead of him. The most immediate challenge he faces is the strong opposition from the liberal opposition parties, which they say will boycott the parliamentary hearing for Kim. Kim said this morning that he would address their objections at the press conference. Kim Byung-jun is a professor of public administration and policy at Kookmin University and a former policymaker for the late liberal president Roh Moo-hyun. We'll have more on what he said in our next newscast. Continuing on with the cabinet reshuffle, the ruling and opposition parties split along party lines in their reactions to the announcement from the presidential office, with the ruling party in favor and the opposition taking a more critical position. The ruling Saenuri Party welcomed the nominations, saying the party expects the appointees' experience and insight will contribute to helping the country get through difficult times. The main opposition Democratic Party of Korea said the presidential office's actions show that its lack of communication with the parliament and the opposition bloc remains unchanged. The party also said that the president should be investigated as part of the probe into the allegations against her confidant Choi Soon-sil. The minor opposition People's Party said the presidential office is just trying to change the subject away from the scandal when it should be listening to the angry voices of the public. Meanwhile, the Democratic Party of Korea held a general meeting of all of its lawmakers this morning to figure out its next steps and determine whether they will accept the Prime Minister nominee and whether they will seek impeachment for the president or press her to resign. The party said they will discuss the matter again tomorrow. And later today, the top court in the Korean capital will decide whether to approve the arrest warrant for Choi Soon-sil, the woman at the heart of a power abuse scandal. Prosecutors could also seek an arrest warrant for a former presidential secretary. Lee Min-young has the latest.
The question of whether Choi Soon-sil, President Park Geun-hye's confidant and the woman at the center of a political scandal that has thrown the entire nation into a state of paralysis will be arrested could be decided as early as Thursday, after a hearing that starts at 3 p.m. Choi's lawyer had previously told reporters that his client will be present at the hearing. A fierce battle is expected between state prosecutors and Choi's defense attorney. Prosecutors requested an arrest warrant for Choi on Wednesday afternoon on 2 charges, being an accomplice to a crime of abuse of authority and attempted fraud. She does not hold an official post, but is being accused of using her connections to the president to pressure corporations to make large contributions to 2 government-linked foundations. The attempted fraud charge relates to the funds she allegedly raised for the two foundations in question and then funneled into a paper company for her own personal use. Later on Wednesday, former presidential secretary An Jong-bum, who has been charged with being the main perpetrator in the crime of abuse of authority, was also arrested without warrant. The decision came roughly 10 hours after he first appeared for questioning by prosecutors as a suspect in the ongoing abuse of power scandal surrounding Choi. The reason prosecutors say was that he denied the primary charges against him and has been found to have pressured key witnesses into making false statements before he appeared for questioning. Prosecutors also say they had reason to believe An could attempt to destroy evidence unless he was detained. Prosecutors must file a court request for an arrest warrant within 48 hours of the booking, so they could file the request for the warrant Thursday after questioning him on whether he used his influence to coerce conglomerates into giving large donations to the two foundations, and if other officials from the presidential office were involved in the process. Lee Min-young, Arirang News.
Turning overseas, the U.S. Federal Reserve has kept its key interest rate unchanged in a widely expected move ahead of the presidential election next week. Fed policymakers said Wednesday that the U.S. economy has gained steam, with job creation remaining solid and inflation nearing their 2% target. Analysts say that the Fed is not under pressure to move on rates so close to Election Day. The Fed did, however, indicate that a rate hike could be on the way soon, possibly at its next meeting in December. That does it for now. I'll be back with more headlines at 4 p.m. Korea time. Don't go away.